I don't have to be your friend to work with you. I can work with you, I can travel with you, and still have an amazing time doing one with the other. Alright, let's hope I can do this, guys. I've had this bottle of wine for over a year. So, let's see if I could actually Happy New Year, guys. Whew. Happy New Year's Eve, guys. Happy New Year's Eve. I am literally recording this video. I'm fixing my robe because you know the tits always want to come out. I'm literally recording this video at 9:15 p.m. on New Year's Eve with the hopes that I can get it to you by midnight. So I told you I was going to do a 2022 recap, and that is exactly what I am doing. So I just want to jump right into it. I have notes. Of course I do. 2022 was a lot for me. 2022 was a year of first, a year of discovery, a year of truth, a year of independence, freedom, all the things that I've been saying throughout my life that I wanted. I think that I experienced those things this year. It was a bittersweet year. I am grateful for this year. And it was interesting. It was a goddamn interesting year. I'm not lying to you. So we're going to jump in right at the top, tippity top of the year, because as you guys can see, I traveled a lot this year. And when I was making this list of things that I wanted to discuss and places that I had been this year, I didn't realize how much I traveled, or maybe I did, I don't know. But I even forgot one of the places that I went to. It's just been so much going on this year. I think I've been at my best and at my worst this year, 2022. I am blessed. I am grateful to have my health. I am blessed to have my kids. I am blessed to be an educated black woman, multiple degree holding black woman in the United States of America who can get up and travel anywhere she wants in the world. I am blessed and I am grateful to have those opportunities, and I took advantage of some of those opportunities this year. So let's jump in as I sip this wine. First, we're going to talk about the trips. The trips, because 2022 for me was the year of travel. And I went to a few places this year. Most of the places on this list I had never been to. It was my first time going this year. So we're going to start with San Francisco. I'm going back to Cali, the West Coast. I visited the West Coast for the first time this year and journeyed out to San Francisco. It was a spur of the moment trip. It was something that was planned within a matter of days. I went with a group of women, 4 other women, and I had an amazing time. California was lovely. I did so many things. I went to see the Golden Gate Bridge, which was something that was on my list of things to see in this lifetime. I went to Madame Tussauds. I had amazing food, stayed in a really nice hotel. I rode the trolley. I mean, this trip was a lot. And it was literally 2 days. It was 2 days, but it was more like a day and some change, because originally the trip was supposed to be a day trip. Leave on the first flight in the morning, take the red eye back. We decided to stay overnight, well, a few of us, and we did. And I'm glad that we did, because I was able to do basically everything that I wanted to do in San Francisco on day 2 of that trip, as you can see. California taught me 2 things. Number 1, get out, get up, go, just do it. Number 2, I learned who were and who were really not my friends. I put that blog up, that travel blog to San Francisco, and you heard me say in that blog that I lost some friends on that trip. And it's okay, because on that trip I learned that they were never my friends, which was cool. So Cali was an amazing trip for me, and I put that on what it is. It was an amazing trip, and I had an amazing time. Moving on, so that was the top of the year. That was March. That was March of this year. Moving on, I got the bug. I wanted to go again. Didn't want to go international yet because I knew that was coming up. I said, where do I want to go? Where have I not been in the United States that I've always said that I wanted to go? Miami. Welcome to Miami. You guys are actually getting that vlog tomorrow. On New Year's Day. It is dropping tomorrow. I took a day trip to Miami. Literally booked the flight, asked my daughter if she wanted to go. She was fronting like she didn't want to go. Then she finally said she wanted to come. It was a day trip. Left at like 6 in the morning. Got on the last flight coming back. It was in the middle of the week. I think it was a Wednesday. I just wanted to go. I said I wanted to go somewhere. I needed a little break. Just wanted to get away. Just something quick. Just to break up the monotony of everything, of life, of what was going on. I had a lot of stuff going on early this year. My daughter graduated from high school this year. Anyway, we'll get to that. So, went to Miami, and the Miami vlog, I'm going to be honest with you, it was short because Miami wasn't really a turn-up trip. Miami was more of a relaxation trip. So, we went to Pura Vida, got something to eat that morning, kind of chilled in the city, walked around the city, kind of just got to know the city. Took some Ubers to drive around to go to different places. We went to Nikki Beach and chilled out for a little while. And then we took a Uber to where we were actually going to be staying for that day. I booked us a resort pass so that we can chill out at a resort. We wound up going to the Rio in Miami and basically had a resort day. Drank, was on the beach, ate food, took naps, got tan, looked cute, as you can see. So that is what that trip was about. Miami for me was a blast. I was so happy that I was able to do that with my daughter because she's of age, you know, so it was dope to be able to do that with her. It's something that I always said when I knew that I was having a girl. I'm like, I want to be able to do certain things with her, and traveling with her, you know, was on the list of things. So Miami was trip number 2. Amazing. Came back, I'm like, all right, let me get my head together, because after Miami came prom, graduation. My daughter graduated from high school this year. She had her prom this year. A lot, okay? Prepping for prom, finding the right dress, getting it tailored at the last minute, doing so much for prom. Took up basically April and May. But we got her through. She is graduated. I'm super proud of her. You guys already know because I've told you in the many vlogs that are on my channel that she's in college. She goes to the local community college. She still lives at home. So she just finished, well, school is there on break right now, so she's through her first semester of college, going into her second semester of her first year. So super proud of my princess. And I'm happy to see it. You know, as a parent, we want to see the fruits of our labor. And as a parent, we also want to make sure, let me speak for me. Cut that. For me as a parent, I want to see the fruits of my labor. For me as a parent, I want to see my children succeed. And when they do things to make themselves proud, it makes me feel even better. So I am super proud of her. She is working her way through. Things are new, but she is pushing through. And as a parent, to watch my child go to college is amazing for me. You know, it's amazing for me. Let me just say that. She is continuing on the legacy, but she's doing it different from how I was forced to do it. So that was the first, 5 months of the year. So now we're in May. So May is prom. She looked like hot fire. Okay? Fire. My baby looks good. So she did prom. Then we did graduation. I cried as soon as I walked into the university halls. I cried throughout the whole graduation. I cried. If you have gone through this, you will understand. If you have gone through this as a parent and you have put your all in everything that you know and things that you had to learn and some things you did wrong, some things you did right, but you're there, you will understand the tears. So that was June. Literally. Actually, I skipped something. Literally the day after prom. That next morning, I was on a plane to Costa Rica, Pura Vida, Costa Rica, for the first annual retreat that my business partner and I had been working on since 2020. It was a retreat that we were supposed to do 2 years ago. COVID hit, sat everybody's asses down, including ours, but we never stopped planning. We never stopped hoping. We never stopped pushing forward. And so through 2020 and 2021, we were still working on this and putting this together. And in May of this year, 2022, it was kind of the culmination of the work that we did. The retreat was for men and women. We did only have women come, but it was a retreat for healing basically mind, body, and soul. It was amazing. We had a beautiful location in the jungle in Montezuma. You will see the small-ass plane that I have to get on. Smallest plane I've ever flew on in my life. I was a little concerned. However, when we got up in the air, it was the smoothest plane ride I have ever been on, and it was the most beautiful plane ride as far as scenery that I have ever been on. It was an amazing trip. We changed lives. Our lives changed. We experienced some things together as business partners and women. We accomplished that shit. At the end of the fucking day, we accomplished what we set out to accomplish. And when we sat down to do our debrief and just kind of have dinner at the end of the day, we were just like, wow, we did this shit. We did it. And so to accomplish something that you have been working on for years, I couldn't wrap my head around it, you know, until we actually did it and it was done. Did we have hiccups? Absolutely. It's the first of many. You're always going to have hiccups when you do something for the first time. But was it an experience? Yes. Was it an adventure? Yes. Was it life-changing? Yes. And so that was May 2022. After Costa Rica, I said, you know what? I'm not ready to go home yet. I'm not ready to go home. Let me stay in Central America. Let me stay out here. So I got on the plane, and from Costa Rica, I went to Panama. So I flew from Costa Rica to Panama. We went our separate ways after the retreat. I flew to Panama for one thing, because it was on my life list. I needed to see the Panama Canal. I went to Panama to see the Panama Canal. I stayed for a few days, but that is what I went for. And before I went, I decided, you know what, since I'm going to Panama, let me go ahead and make this a adventure. Let me do other things. So I booked some Airbnb experiences. I had a professional photographer take me around the city, take professional photos of me, as you can see here. It's something that I've never done. I was feeling kind of, I don't know about it, because, you know, everyone has their own insecurities, and for me, I had put on weight. I was like, I don't know, but the pictures came out amazing. The photographer, Rafaela, was amazing. I still keep in touch with her to this day. An amazing time. She brought her friend with her. We chilled out in the city. We had a good time. They told me where to go. And just the photo shoot in a whole was an experience. If you are ever in Panama, go on Airbnb experiences and look for professional photo shoot in the city. And I believe her name is Rafaela. Amazing. We follow each other on IG now and everything, so I did that. And then I did another experience, which was the Panama Canal experience, where I had a private tour guide. It was myself and two other guys on this tour. I think one was from the UK, one was from Germany, but they were together. And so it was three of us on this tour where we were able to go to the Panama Canal, see the Panama Canal. She also took us around some of the historic sites in Panama. We went down to the water. We went down to the kind of like the tourist area. We were able to take pictures by the sign. So I don't want to give too much about that trip, because I know you hear me talking about things and you haven't seen these vlogs. There's some vlogs that I have not dropped yet. I have not gotten to the point of editing them yet. I do have a posting schedule, and so some of these trips will be coming up. So like, you haven't seen Costa Rica yet, you haven't seen Panama, but those are coming up. Never fear, they are coming up for you. I have them on schedule for you. So did Panama, had a great time, stayed at a wonderful hotel, beautiful spot, had a good time there, and just chilled out in the city, which was amazing for me. I actually met some people there, and ate some really good food there. So I wasn't ready to go home yet. I wasn't ready. So I jumped on a plane, first class this time, because that was an experience on my list. I was able to bid for a seat to be upgraded to first class, and I put a bid in. Wasn't sure if I was going to get it, but I won the bid. So I was able to fly first class for the first time 2022. I told y'all, this year was full of a lot of firsts for me. Panama to El Salvador. So, El Salvador. Oh my gosh. I love El Salvador. Amazing country, amazing people, amazing food, amazing experience. I had an experience of a lifetime in El Salvador. I stayed at the La Garza hostel, and this hostel is like a first class hostel. It is right on a black sand beach. You will see here, with an infinity pool looking straight out into the sea. The food was phenomenal. I'm not showing you food here because I didn't drop that vlog yet, and I'm saving it for that vlog. But I went to El Salvador, stayed in El Salvador for I think 5 days. Met some amazing people, met some amazing women. Some of the women who I still talk to this day, one of the women who I actually travel with now, because she's a solo traveler herself, and so we traveled after El Salvador, like we've met up after El Salvador, and we went on one trip together so far, but we have a few more trips planned for 2023, so look out for that. But El Salvador was lovely. Stayed at the hostel, was able to go into the city. I got some tattoos in El Salvador. I try to get a tattoo everywhere I go if I have time. I didn't have time in Panama, and Costa Rica this year was solely for the retreat, so it really wasn't any downtime or free time for me. It was a work trip for me that I kind of tried to make fun, but didn't have time to get tattoos this time. But the last time I went to Costa Rica, I got 2 tattoos. So went to El Salvador, got 2 tattoos in El Salvador. Like I said, I stayed at the La Garza hostel. I did want to check out this spot that I heard people talking about, saw it on IG, and I wasn't that far from it. So I spent my last day in El Salvador at Naui Beach House. Amazing. Beautiful. Look. Beautiful. Scenery, beautiful. Pool, beautiful. Beach, okay. Another first for me. Naui Beach House. The first time I ever rode a horse. Look at me. Look at my cheeks. I'm cheeky. I'm happy. I'm also a little nervous because it's high. You don't think that being on a horse is that high, but it's high. An amazing experience. I was able to check so many things off my list the first half of this year that it's crazy. Crazy. So, El Salvador. After El Salvador, I said, okay, child, go home, you got kids. I said, fine, I'm going to go home, but I'll be back. So, came home, June. As I was saying earlier, graduation time, graduation here and gone. Summertime. I said, okay, you graduated. Mommy's out again. This place was on my list for probably the last, I don't know, between 5 and 7 years. And I finally did this trip to Mexico. Now, y'all have seen this Mexico trip. Y'all have seen this Mexico trip. I actually have it has its own playlist because it was a 3-part trip that I did for you guys, just because I did so much in Mexico that I had to break it into 3 different vlogs. Mexico. I keep telling myself that when all is said and done, I'm going to move to Mexico. I love Mexico. I have a connection to Mexico. My great-grandfather was Mexican. I grew up eating that same type of food because my mother is from Honduras, so I am Afro-Latina. The food is the same. So for me, in Mexico, just like even in El Salvador, it felt like home to me. And so I went to Mexico. I was in Mexico for, I think, 4 or 5 days. I was in Mexico City. I wanted to see how the city was because I'm seriously talking about moving there. Went to Mexico City by myself, ate good, went on excursions, did some more Airbnb experiences as you guys saw in the 3 vlogs. I went to the pyramids in Teotihuacan. I went to Itzlatelapa. I went to the what do you call it? I forget, but on the I guess it's the lagoon, or whatever you call it. Chile something in the water. I drank tequila, which I don't like. I met people, and it's just amazing how you can go somewhere and be secure enough in yourself to make sure that you are safe, that you know what you're doing, and that you are confident enough to be able to go out and do these things by yourself meet people, have a great time. It's just a different experience for me from who I used to be, from how I was raised, from how I grew up. It was different. I love Mexico. And you're not going to get me to change my mind. No, you're not going to get me to change my mind. Okay? Actually, I was supposed to go back to Mexico twice after that trip. Had to cancel. Life started taking a turn after Mexico for me. So, when I came back from Mexico, I stayed home for like 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. I didn't travel again until August. So, nope, 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I took a 6-week break. I took a little 6-week contract at one of the universities over here, did that for the 6 weeks, and I was like, listen, I'm itching, I'm scratching, I'm ready to go, I'm scratching, look at me, I gotta go. But in those 6 weeks, I learned something as well. I learned that I was capable of more than I give myself credit for. I learned who some people are and who some people are not. And I just kind of pushed through. And so here we get to July. My birthday month. So, end of July came. My birthday's at the end of July. Birthday came. I'm like, yo, where do I want to go for my birthday? That's all I was thinking about throughout the summer. I'm like, where do I want to go for my birthday? Throughout June, where do I want to go for my birthday? Where do I want to go for my birthday? Where do I want to go? I said, you know what? Let me go back somewhere that I have not been in years. And I should be ashamed of it because it is the land of my father. It is the land of my people. J.A. baby. Jamaica. So for my birthday, I went to Jamaica. Solo trip. And everybody tell you, don't go to Jamaica by yourself. Don't do this by yourself. Don't do solo trip to Jamaica. I didn't tell family I was coming. I didn't tell family. Family here didn't know I was going. I didn't tell any family there I was coming. I needed this trip just for me, solo dolo. It was a relaxation trip. You will see that the only footage that I have of this Jamaica trip is the very first video that I posted on this channel, which is my intro video, 3 minutes and some change. All of the other video footage was lost. You're going to see pictures. I look cute. That's all you got. A photo. That's all I got for you. Nothing else. Jamaica, and you know what, too? When I think about it, at first I was pissed off because I was like, damn, this would have been a really good vlog. But when I think about it, like, the universe probably was like, you need to chill out. Like, you need to just chill out and you need to relax and you don't need to be here worried about content, worried about shooting videos, worried about this, worried about that, because you said that you wanted a relaxing trip. And that's exactly what Jamaica was. Jamaica was a relaxing trip. I sat on the beach most of the day. I think I went out once at night, but other than that, I sat on the beach most of the day and got a tan in cute-ass bathing suits. That's what I did. Drank rum. Drank rum punch. Drank rum and punch, never stopped. And ate food. That's what I did, and chilled out and felt again like I was at home. Walking the streets by myself, chilling outside by myself, just chilling. It was such a relaxing trip, and a relaxing trip around people who look like me, you know, vibe like me. I just felt at home, and anytime I go to Jamaica, I just feel at home. I just feel at home. So that was Jamaica. Jamaica was interesting, but Jamaica was nice. But Jamaica is always nice. Now, in Jamaica, oh, I skipped this. So, in El Salvador, I got 2 tattoos. In Mexico, I also got a tattoo. I forgot that. I don't know how I forgot that. I got a tattoo in Mexico. And this was another first for me because this is the first time that I got a tattoo using the poke method, which is the ancestral method of how they used to mark and tattoo their bodies. So I got this tattoo using the Pope method, and that was the first for me. And I will be honest with you, it is the tattoo on my body, and I think I have 10 or 11 tattoos. It is the one tattoo on my body that healed the cleanest. I had no peeling. I had no pain. No extra scarring. It healed beautifully. So, let me just put that out there. But in Jamaica, I also got a tattoo. So on the day before last, because I usually get my tattoos on the last day or the night before, this way I'm not sitting out in the sun. But if you watch that intro video on my blog channel, if you have not, go watch it. You will see that my arm is still wrapped and the plastic is melting because that's how hot it was. I had gotten my tattoo the night before. This is the tattoo right here. I think this is my biggest tattoo, I think. Maybe, yeah, this is my biggest tattoo. This is a picture of it right here as well. So I got my tattoo in Jamaica. Tattoo artist was cool. Like, spot was nice. We talked the whole time about music, about the history, about the country, about our parents, our grandparents, just little like Jamaican ways, just chilling. It was just a cool vibe. So that was Jamaica, and then I came home. After I came home from Jamaica, I'm just telling y'all about the trips right now, and I need to run through it because I don't need this video to be no goddamn hour, because I need y'all to watch it. So that was Jamaica. Bingo bango, come home from Jamaica. I'm home for a few weeks. My girl that I met in El Salvador was like, yo, you want to go somewhere? I'm like, I'm always down. She's always down. She's like, let's go to Houston. Houston, baby. Now, that vlog is on the channel. Y'all done saw that vlog. Now, I've been to Texas before, San Antonio, but it wasn't for turn up. It was for work. Houston was for the turn up. Okay? Houston was for the motherfucking turn up. And when I tell you, as you can see, we turned up. She turned up a little extra. A little too much because she thought she was grown. We turned up in Houston. Houston was lit. Houston was hot. Houston was nice. The food was good. All the spots we went to were good. The mall is beautiful. And Houston was a fucking turn up. And I'm looking forward to going again. We're already talking about going to Houston again. When we came back from Houston, we were already talking about going again. So that's definitely going to be another kind of 2-3 day trip for us, maybe 4, coming up in 2023. We stayed at the Wanderlust, which is a black-owned hostel. I stay at hostels a lot when I travel because you can find some really good hostels depending on where you're staying, where you're going. And people are kind of iffy about hostels, but I always make sure that I stay at ones that have female dorms separate from the male dorms and it's not mixed, except for La Garza in El Salvador. That was a mixed dorm that we stayed in, but I think we had one guy in the room, the rest were girls. But I do stay in hostels, but I stay in only the nicest of nicest hostels. Just because if I'm going to be out there in a city or in a country and I know that I want to spend my money on other things and I can get a place to stay that's way less expensive than a hotel, I'm going to do that. And that was the first for me this year too. I just kind of went out on a limb and did it. And it worked. And I liked it and I enjoyed it. And I met a lot of people saying that the few hostels that I stayed at. Now in Panama was a short trip, so I didn't stay at a hostel. I stayed in a hotel. I was only in Panama for 2 days, 3 days, something like that. When I went to Mexico, I stayed at a hotel. Only because Mexico was a trip that I was supposed to go on the year before last and I didn't go, so I already had a hotel situation with Mexico. In Costa Rica, again, that was a business trip. So stayed in Houston at Wanderlust, which is a black-owned hostel, beautiful place, clean. Met some really nice people. I met people from Germany, the UK, Vermont, Maine, like all types of people, all kinds of people. stayed in our room. We just had a cool ass group of women staying in the female dorm. So it was it was 8 beds, but they never were all full. I think the most in there was 4 of us. And as you can see, Alexis went overboard. Now Alexis, I met in El Salvador at the La Garza. And so we've kind of been linking up and stuff like that, and we talk all the time. She just texted me yesterday. So that's the great thing about solo traveling, and the great thing about, you know, sometimes staying in a place that you wouldn't normally stay in, as opposed to staying in a hotel. You get to meet people, and you know, you never know. You might meet your soulmate, you might meet your travel mate, you might meet your whatever you're looking for at the time. So, Houston was a turn up. Houston, let me stop. It was a turn up. Aquarium was beautiful. Food was good. We did Trill on Wheels. We went to Juliet, which is a really nice restaurant. It actually looks like a movie theater on the outside and the inside, but then when you go into the second door, it is a beautiful, beautiful restaurant. The theme is black and white. It's funny I'm wearing black and white, but the theme of that restaurant was black and white. Food was amazing. Drinks were even better. Here's another first. Houston was the first time I had a lemon drop. And in Houston was the first time that I had or created a Hennessy lemon drop. Because normally they don't make lemon drops with Hennessy, but I asked her to do it for me, not knowing how it was going to taste. Delicious. It is my drink now. A Hennessy strawberry lemon drop. Chef's kiss. Try it. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't tell you. So, Houston. That was, I think, when did we go to Houston? I don't know. July, August. I don't even know what month I'm on. July, August, something like that. Somewhere around there. I don't know. We went. So months go by. I'm sitting in the house. Things are happening in my life. We'll get to that. Let's see what time I'm at. Yeah, things are happening in my life. And then my final trip of 2022. I went home. New York, baby. New York, baby. I went home. And it's crazy that that was my final trip of this year. It wasn't supposed to be. But it was my final trip of this year, and I went home, and it all makes sense now. I hadn't been home in years. I needed to go home. I needed to be in New York. Because if you're from New York is just a fucking vibe. It's just a vibe. It's a different feeling. It's different air. It's just different. So I went home. I went home, took a day trip out there, took the train, took a day trip out there, took 2 trains, took a day trip out there to go see the Titanic exhibit that came over from London. I went with my girl Lindsay. We had an amazing time. Some good food. The exhibit was wonderful. That vlog is up, so you guys saw. The exhibit was wonderful. They did an amazing job with that exhibit. So, yeah, that was my trip, my travel of 2022. And so I know at the beginning I said that this light is going in and out every time I move. It's the camera and the lighting and the whatever, but this is what you're getting. This is what you are getting. So I said earlier when I was speaking that 2022 was bittersweet for me because I got to travel this year more than I traveled any other time in my life. There also were some things happening in my personal life that came to light this year. I've gained friends, and to those new friends and those new people in my life, welcome to the party. I lost friends. You know, I lost friends. And for the friends that I lost, because you was never real anyway, I finally kind of came to the conclusion that someone that I loved didn't love me back. And so for those of you that I loved in 2022 and you love me back, big up yourself. For those of you that I loved in 2022 and you didn't love me back, I hope you knew what the fuck you was doing. So, yeah, I've been through a lot this year, and I've learned a lot this year. And so let's talk about the things that I've learned. I've learned that you can't make anyone love you. I've learned that you shouldn't beg anyone to love you. And I've learned that just because I'm your friend don't mean that you really fuck with me. And that's cool. But you should really say that shit like early on, because then I really know how to fuck with you. Because if you see me, I don't look friendly. I'm very kind once you get to know me. But I also respect people who just be like, I don't fuck with you. And I'm good on that. But once you fake that shit, once you fake like you fuck with me, and then you do some grimy shit, you better take this L you're about to get. For real. And so, for all the people who thought that they got over in 2022 on me, on little old me, take this fucking L that you're about to get for the rest of your life. So, let's see, what else? Things that are changing. I'm going back to who I used to be and how I used to be because I need to. Emotionally, this year, you didn't see it, but I was at my worst. Emotionally this year. And so, I told you guys in other vlogs, if you've seen me in my car a lot this year working, but I talk to you guys a lot in my car because I'm in my car working or going somewhere. But you guys know that I'm back in therapy, so I'm just going back, getting myself back. That's really what the fuck I'm doing. So, 2023 is the year of me, emotionally, physically. I'm tired of being fat. No offense. No offense. Let me be clear. No offense. But I'm talking about me. I'm tired of being fat. I'm tired of carrying this extra weight that I know I don't need to be carrying, but I was carrying it anyway because I was trying to focus on other shit, trying to get my life together, trying to get my piece of shit relationship together, trying to get everybody else together except for myself. And so I'm off that shit now. So I'm focusing back on me emotionally, physically, mentally. I am starting a new career in January. I am starting a new life in January. I am becoming anew. So watch the fuck out. Watch the fuck out. And if you wasn't there for the pain, don't fucking call me. Don't call me. Because if I called you this year and if I text you this year because I needed you or needed something, and that's not how I move at all, but if I reached out to you and you didn't respond, let's keep that same energy going. Okay? Cool. So, moving forward, that is what I'm doing. I'm just going to be focusing on me. Focusing on my kids, making sure that my kids are good. My kids are grown. Like, I cannot believe in 2023 how old my kids are going to be. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I could actually really wild out now if I wanted to and go back to being 20 and acting a fool and smoking and drinking and shit. I mean, I'm not going to do none of that, but I'm saying I could because my kids are, like, at that age where I don't have to be on them like that. So, yeah. Also, another thing that I'm doing in 2023, and I'm starting tomorrow. So, I'm going to be reading, this is on my list, I'm going to be reading 52 books this year. I'm going to be reading a book a month. And the book that I am starting tomorrow is called What Happened to You by Oprah, and I forget the other guy's name, but this is a book that's been on my list. I've had the book. I just never picked it up to read it. And so to encourage me to do so, I usually buy the book and the audio book because with the audio book I can listen in my car while I'm doing things, so I still get the knowledge while I'm doing other things. So that is going to be my book for January, What Happened to You. So I'm going to be reading 52 books this year. Check me. I mean, you don't have to check me on it, because I'm the checker. So I'm going to check myself, because I'm not going to let myself down. Like, that's not happening this year. I never let myself down. I might take an L. I might be like, damn. But the L's that I usually take is because I love you, and I really don't want to fucking do you dirty. I don't want to do you dirty. So I take an L for you. But then the L winds up being on my back. So 52 books this year. What Happened to You is the first book. Other than that, this is really all I have on my list, y'all. That's what I have on my list. That was my 2022. My 2022 was amazing. My 2022 was also fucked up. But that is life, right? It is life. 2023 is going to be different, baby. 2023 is going to be different, because guess what? 2023, I only have to care about me. And see, once I only have to care about me, you better watch the fuck out. Like, seriously, you better watch the fuck out. And people that know me in real life, know me like you can pick up your phone and call me, know me, they know what the fuck I mean. When I'm just focused on me, I'm a beast. So, I'm excited for 2023, y'all. And let me pour some more wine. She's looking cute right now. Let me pour some more wine, and I am going to say, cheers to 2022. And welcome to 2023. And you know what? Last but not least, how could I forget this, because I'm doing it right now. I started my YouTube channel this year, something that I have been saying that I wanted to do since 2019, and I never did it because I was so concerned about what people would say, how people would judge me, how people would look at me. You know, I was concerned about all of that. I put all of that shit to the side this year, and I started this YouTube channel. So I appreciate you for rocking with me. I appreciate you for watching my videos. For the 1 minute that you watch, or if you watch them through, I fucking appreciate you. Because this was something that I was so nervous about doing. Like, for real, for real. And I did it. And on top of that, first year doing YouTube, and the bitch did Vlogmas. Vlogmas almost took me out. But on the first day of Vlogmas, I told y'all, I was like, we gonna get through this. We gonna get through this. And we got through it. We got through Vlogmas. Cheers, motherfucking cheers. So, Happy New Year, you guys. I wish you the best in health. I wish you prosperity. I wish you abundance. I want you to go get the bag. I wish you the bag. The universe is going to give you the bag. The universe already gave me my bag. I already got my bag. I'm just waiting for it to come down the stairs. I wish you all the best in 2023. 23. I was about to say 22 in 2023. Whatever you're doing tonight, be safe. Be healthy. Don't go out there and do some 19-year-old shit like I used to do. Remember that you got bills and shit and goals. And you got a lot of life to live. But do it and have fun. Happy New Year, you guys.